vidIQ might be one of the most useful YouTube growth tools out there, especially for up-and-coming creators. But if you only go with the free version, or worse, you don't use it at all, you're definitely missing out on features that can grow your channel. Now, I've been using vidIQ since pretty much day one, and the more I've used it, the more it's become central to my overall YouTube workflow. So in this video, I'm going to share with you what I consider the must-use vidIQ features, how I've used them to produce high-performing content, and to help you decide if it's worth upgrading for your channel. All right, so arguably the most useful thing about the vidIQ browser extension is how it helps you spot video outliers while scrolling through YouTube. And when you're on the home screen, or really anywhere on YouTube, vidIQ gives you real-time outlier scores neatly tucked away underneath each video. Now, an outlier score is simply a video that is outperforming its channel average in terms of views. And the larger the number, the bigger the outlier. And this helps you spot proven topics, titles, and thumbnails that are performing well above average, giving you real validation of what's working and why. Now, I'll often use this in my own niche to find outliers worth modeling. These are videos that clearly hit a nerve with their audience. And then I'll study why they worked and to see if there's a way to approach the same topic through my own lens. And if I can add something new or complementary to the conversation, that's usually a strong signal it's worth making the video. The free version gives you everything you need to do this kind of outlier research. So if there is one reason to get vidIQ, it's for this free outlier scoring feature alone. But if you want advanced filter options and unlimited searches via the vidIQ website, that's where the Boost plan comes in. And because it feels like they're dumping features left and right, they've got this brand new video filter overlay that shows up on practically every screen so that you can do advanced outlier research inline right from YouTube without ever leaving the platform. Now, I will just say up front that I was able to partner with vidIQ to secure a limited time offer for my viewers to try out Boost for $1. So if that's interesting to you, check the link below. Now, once you've spotted a few outliers, the next question becomes, how do you take what's working and make it your own? That's where the title remixing feature comes in. But most creators make the mistake of only studying outliers within their own niche. And this creates a problem in that everyone ends up copying the same titles, formats, and thumbnails, and everything starts to blur together on the home screen. The better approach is to look outside your niche. When you remix titles from completely different genres, you expose your audience to new packaging they've never seen before, but with content that's still perfectly relevant to them. And this gives you a fresh, pattern-breaking edge that instantly helps your videos stand out. Here's how I like to do it. Once I've found a high-performing video in another niche, I'll use vidIQ's title remix feature to generate variations based on that title's success. Then I'll adapt those suggestions to fit my own topic and audience. And the result is something familiar enough to click, but different enough to feel new. It's one of the most underrated creative strategies on YouTube, simple to use, yet incredibly powerful. Now, the free version of vidIQ gives you a handful of remixes each day, but if you want unlimited generations and deeper experimentation, the Boost plan is the way to go. Now, speaking of titles, there is another insanely useful feature that shows up right inside YouTube Studio in the upload workflow, and it's called title suggestions. Right underneath where you'd put your title, vidIQ will automatically suggest proven, high-performing options based on your topic and keywords. Now, are the titles always perfect and usable? No, not always, but you never know when it's going to strike gold and give you a really hot idea. Here's an example of how powerful this was for my channel. When posting my 25th upload, I was struggling hard to come up with a good title. I clicked that refresh button a few times and I got suggested the title, "I tried YouTube for 90 days, and I knew immediately this was something that was clickable. That video ended up going viral and nearly doubled my channel in a week, pushing me towards 1,000 subscribers, and gave me a repeatable format that I've been able to reuse every couple of months. Now, even if you already have really solid title ideas, these suggestions are great for pressure testing them. They've even got several filters to let you get more granular, including keywords you might want to use or emotions you might want to tap into. Now, the free version gives you a few suggestions per upload, but if you want unlimited generations, well, you know the drill. Another tool that I use all the time right on vidIQ's website is the keyword research tool. And this is where I go before I ever hit record. This helps me figure out which topics are actually being searched for, how competitive are they, and whether it's worth making the video in the first place. You just type in your keyword or phrase and vidIQ will instantly show you the search volume, the competition score, and here's a really good example of how useful this can be. Now, as a YouTube growth channel, I might consider making a video on YouTube thumbnails. As you can see, it's a broad keyword with over 50,000 monthly searches. But what's interesting is the question people are typing into search related to YouTube thumbnails. There's a ton of search activity for how to change thumbnails on YouTube Shorts, and the competition is quite low. This tells me that creators aren't just searching for general thumbnail help, they're specifically curious about optimizing for shorts. And what's also noticeable is how many variations of this question appear, which signals to me a large content gap that I could potentially fill. Going even further, vidIQ just added this trending keyword indicator, which at a glance shows you if your keyword is growing or declining in popularity month over month, which is great for knowing if you are ahead or behind of the trend. Now, some of my best performing videos happen to be tutorials born from this kind of keyword research. So if you make instructional content, this is a goldmine for helping you decide what to make and how to package it. The free version gives you basic search results with limited suggestions. So if you want access to deeper analytics like related keywords, matching terms and questions, then guess what? Chicken butt. No, seriously, you need to upgrade to Boost. The other thing I love about vidIQ's browser extension is just how well designed the interface is. They've got these little quality of life tools that make it easier to visualize data and understand how well things are performing. Now, right at the top of your channel page, you're going to see a quick channel stats bar. This provides at-a-glance metrics like your subscriber rank, your upload frequency, and if you're monetized, your monthly earnings. Now, the earnings themselves aren't reliable and tend to under-index quite a bit, but it's still a helpful directional benchmark, and it's also kind of fun to creep on other channels' potential earnings. Go check out Mr. Beast. Now, to go a bit deeper, you can click View Channel Stats and you'll get an expanded version with some well laid out graphs and additional context. Another subtle yet incredibly useful feature that I really like is the floating analytics bar at the top of YouTube, and it follows you everywhere you go on YouTube, giving you live stats for whichever metrics you want to see. I personally set mine to views over the last 48 hours, total subscribers, and 28-day earnings. And this just helps me know the overall health of my channel without having to go into YouTube Studio. Finally, there's this side panel that pops up when viewing a video. I'm not actually sure if it has a name, but it's super useful for seeing a video's performance over time, to know if it's considered evergreen and still getting views per hour, and even if there have been title and thumbnail changes. Now, these aren't the flashiest features, but they do a great job of consolidating relevant data that you'd otherwise never see. Oh, and I should also mention that these are free with the vidIQ browser extension. Now, there's one more brand new feature that nobody seems to know even exists. And if you've ever wondered how your thumbnails actually look out there in the wild and not just inside Canva or Photoshop, this tool is a must use, and it's called Thumbnail Preview. And you can access it right inside your video details. It shows you exactly how your thumbnail appears in different locations across YouTube, and that includes the home feed, search results, suggested videos, mobile, and even in dark mode. And yes, there are other tools out there that do exactly this, but this one does it right inside YouTube with more control and context. My favorite part is how you can compare your thumbnails directly alongside competitors in your niche. And that kind of visual context is huge because it tells you instantly whether your video stands out or simply blends in. You'll see right away if your text is too small, or if your colors are muted, or if your layout is too cluttered. Because all too often, what looks bold in your editor can easily look dull and unreadable once YouTube compresses it down to 120 pixels on a phone screen. Now, the free version will give you access to the thumbnail preview tool itself, but if you want to compare against more than 3 competitors, you will need to upgrade. So now that you know all of the cool stuff that vidIQ can do, what do you guys think? Are you already using vidIQ? And if so, let me know how. Drop a comment below. And if you haven't yet used vidIQ before and you want to give it a test drive, check the link, take advantage of that $1 offer, and I'll see you in the next one.